How many times we gonna act like having multiple women ain't in a man's nature?
But when men say it's in their nature, when men speak on that, it's usually an excuse for their behaviors that they have. They don't even possess the qualities. Most of the men who are speaking on this are selfish men who are simply just trying to have women for their own selfish needs.
What's good, YouTube? We're gonna get into this short video, but first, don't forget to...
How many times we gonna act like having multiple women ain't in a man's nature?
The wife is walking up. The wife is here.
Hold on, come here.
Now, I admire you as a wife because I am a wife. But I'm gonna ask you, why is your husband coming up here asking that question?
He just wanted to know.
But when men say it's in their nature, when men speak on that, it's usually an excuse for their behaviors that they have. And they don't want to acknowledge that. And we're also listening to men who don't even possess the qualities or the character to be able to navigate that many women.
From a woman's perspective. From a woman's perspective, though.
They don't.
From a woman's perspective.
No, I'm speaking for the men who are usually having this conversation. The men online who are usually having this conversation are not the ones who even qualify to have multiple women to take care of them. Let me just say this real quick. When we talk about having multiple women, we are not talking about financial provision. We are talking about women.
But that's mostly
that
what it
means that
comes
you
down
have the
to.
emotion. You have to have the emotional capacity, the emotional intelligence to deal with multiple women, different layers. When we talk about women in motherhood, this comes with different responsibilities, different needs, and things like that. And most men don't have that. Most of the men who are speaking on this are selfish men who are simply just trying to have women for their own selfish needs.
Man. So, I agree with like mostly everything she just said, to be honest. Coming from a man who likes multiple women. So, yes, when she says like it's not just financial responsibilities of having multiple women, that is true. You know, there are a lot of things: patience, resilience, stamina. And when I say stamina, I don't mean just sexually, even though you need that too. But yeah, there's a lot of qualities that come along other than just the financial burden of having multiple women and kids. Although the financial burden, honestly, whether she would admit it or not, or most women admit it or not, that's really most of the solution, I'll say, to the problem with men with multiple women. Most guys aren't equipped, like she said, emotionally or financially, but it still doesn't mean that they don't want them or they would still pursue them, you know? And I will say, even the guys, most guys that I noticed, like I said, most guys pretty much sustain themselves based on them circumstances. But most guys, I won't even say most, it's really kind of maybe half and half, or I don't know what number I want to give, but most guys, I'll say, do want multiple women. They just don't speak on it. Even though they'll get online and they'll patronize women and they'll talk about men who speak out on wanting multiple women, but then they will literally, you know, be the Derrick Jacksons of society. You know, they'll literally go cheat on their wife, or they'll come and talk to a guy like me who will openly, you know, admit to having or wanting multiple women at times. You know, it's not like it's actually not a all the time thing, but at times it does, you know, for the most part, all the time. Hell, what the hell am I talking about? Kind of like on the reverse end, what I noticed with women, you know, the most heaviest sack of brick built bodied woman still feels as though she deserves the top 1% man. You know, she still wants to be treated like a princess. She still wants to be taken care of. She still wants that guy with the six pack, that's 6 feet tall with the pretty smile, right? If we go with the majority or the general speaking, you know, she's not gonna get that. You know, that's gonna be something reserved for the more beautiful, put together women, right? So just because that woman isn't beautiful, well put together like the women who are able to have those type of men, still doesn't mean she don't want it. So it's the same thing that I noticed with men. You know, it don't matter because he doesn't have money or because he's built like a sack of bricks, you know, or he's 4'11", you know, he's still a man and he's still gonna want that same thing. I think a lot of women lie to themselves that, oh, my man, he's never gonna do this, and my man doesn't want this, and my man doesn't want that. And it's like, no, he does want it. It's just that he knows if he speaks on it, you're gonna leave him, because he actually just wants you. He actually just, most guys they just want to put their time, their love, their energy into one woman, but they are still gonna want to taste the rainbow, so to say. The way modern relationships are set up, they aren't set up for men naturally. So that's why you see, you know, women who work a lot, who don't like to have sex a lot, or, you know, as women, you know, try to lock in one man who always has the urge to bust, for lack of better words. You know, most women aren't equipped with being able to keep up with how much a man has to bust, per se. The more testosterone we have, the more it makes us want to bust, for lack of better words. And the more we're able to bust and have the need to bust, the healthier our sperms are, which gives us more chance for reproduction. So that's actually where the other women come into play.
Jesus Christ.
But don't get me wrong, some of us, she's right, like some of us, we go about it the wrong way. Some of us don't know how to control ourselves, and the older we get as men, the more we're able to control ourselves. But I can honestly say that's really only because we start to lose testosterone and we start to gain more estrogen. So the more we start to gain more estrogen, the less we want to bust. So we start to slow down in how much tail we chase, so to say. So that's really the actual biological reason for men to have multiple women. Monogamous or modern relationships, so to say, would have us to. So it creates this issue that women say that all men are just gonna cheat and all men are dogs. But when you mix marital monogamy norms with natural biology, then you put those two together and then you get all men are dogs. Yeah, man, I ain't gonna stay on this too long, man. But y'all tell me what y'all think. You know, I know y'all, you know, gonna come for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure I disappoint some people, you know. I'm sure maybe I won't, maybe I'll enlighten some people. I don't know. But y'all, you know, tell me what y'all think. And yeah, as we get better, let's do better. This is